It is Sunday, October 18th, 2020 at 4:03 p.m. Alright, let's take a look at this article. This article says NASA mission will first bump an asteroid to reveal the solar system secrets. This was brought to you because of an awareness that I was looking through my post, and Morgan Weaver decided to mention the asteroid sampling space mission that is happening now. So it says here, OSIRIS-REx spacecraft is about to execute a nail-biting maneuver to scoop up rock samples from the asteroid Bennu and send them back to Earth. See the picture here of the asteroid here? It says NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft is set to sample a diamond-shaped asteroid Bennu. NASA is about to grab its first ever taste of an asteroid on the 20th of October, some 334 million kilometers from Earth. The agency's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft will approach a dark-colored, diamond-shaped asteroid named Bennu, with the aim of touching its surface for a few seconds, long enough to hover up a collection of dust and pebbles. If successful, the spacecraft will then fly its carbon-rich rubble back to Earth, where scientists can probe it for clues for the history of the solar system. The journey of Bennu's surface won't be easy. The spacecraft will have to navigate it way past a towering boulder nicknamed Mount Doom, then onto a sampling area no longer than a few car parking spaces. We may not be successful in our first attempt, says Dante Loretta, a mission principal investigator and a planetary scientist at the University of Arizona in Tucson. But if it does work, he says, I hope the world looks at this as a piece of good news, something it can be proud of with all the insanity that's going on this year. Alright, I'm going to leave a link to this article if you feel like reading it. Alright, let's go to the next story. Elon Musk says SpaceX first Starship trip to Mars could fly in 4 years. So he's saying that the first Starship trip to Mars could fly in 4 years. SpaceX is almost ready to start building a permanent human settlement on Mars, which is massive Starship rocket. The private space flight company is on track to launch its first uncrewed mission to Mars in as little as 4 years from now. SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk said on Friday, October 16th, at the International Mars Society convention. I think we have a fighting chance of making that second Mars transfer window, Musk said in a discussion with Mars Society founder Robert Zubrin. You can watch and replay the talk here. It says the window Musk referred to is a launch opportunity that arises every 26 months from a mission to Mars. NASA, China, and United Arab Emirates all launched missions to Mars in July of this year. The next window opens in 2022, with Musk referring to the 2024 Mars launch opportunity. The mission will launch on the Red Planet on a SpaceX Starship vehicle, a reusable rocket and spacecraft combo that is currently under development at the company's South Texas facility. SpaceX is also planning to use the Starship for the mission to the moon starting in 2022, as well as the point-to-point trips around the Earth. So that's something that could possibly happen. We don't know how well the craft is going to do heading out to Mars, but Godspeed to those people heading there. Alright, and next, SpaceX launched 60 new Starlink internet satellites and nailed rocket landing at sea. So Elon's people, SpaceX, just launched a successful full stack of Starlink internet satellites into today, October 18th, and capped off the mission with a successful rocket landing at sea. So, what I find interesting is that he launched a whole Starlink mega constellation, is what they're saying. Our Starlink mega constellation. SpaceX has grand ambitions to help make humanity a multiplanetary species. In order to help fund Mars ambitions, the company developed a plan to blanket the Earth with the internet coverage beamed down from a tight-knit menagerie of broadband satellites. The mega constellation could consist of thousands of satellites flying close to the planet in a region of space called low Earth orbit. The Internet Satellite Network would be a way for SpaceX and its CEO, Elon Musk, to generate revenue for Mars exploration and the necessary hardware, like more advanced rockets and other spacecraft. Musk has estimated that the Starlink service could generate as much as 30 billion a year, although no actual pricing has been announced. Okay, so they're launching a whole bunch of satellites in the low Earth orbit. A lot of scientists are not liking this because they have to look at stars, and instead of seeing stars and being able to make scientific research and observations, they're going to be seeing a lot of satellites interfering with their data. Also, it's going to be for pretty much um, getting internet as far as they can across the planet, getting it to places where internet hasn't reached before and people have no signal. And here's where the conspiracy theories come in, because it's like, why do you need such a wide range of internet over the area? Like, what is it that you're going to be tracking? Is it more people's phones so you can track more people? Or is it for future chips that Elon intends to plan on installing on people? So that's the conspiracy part. But it is interesting that he is launching 60 new Starlink internet satellites. Is it good for the outer space pollution and junk and space junk? I don't think so. I don't think it's good to have 60 extra satellites. But if you guys see things in the sky and you wonder what it could be, now it could be 60 more satellites than before. Alright, next, the National Hurricane Center. We have Disturbance 1 with 80% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours. Showers and thunderstorms activity associated with a non-tropical low-pressure system located about 600 miles southeast of the Bermuda is poorly organized and displaced well east of the low-level center. Environmental conditions remain conducive for development, and a subtropical depression or storm is very likely to form during the next day or so, while the low meanders well to the southeast of Bermuda. Formation chance through 48 hours high at 80%. Information chance through 5 days high at 90%. So this is the only thing that's on the map right now for the National Hurricane Center. But let's take a look at the infrared loop, the IR loop. This is pretty much, look what's happening by Florida. There's a gathering of storms that are getting closer to Florida already and affecting the Florida coastline. So heads up Florida and heads up Cuba, who's already experiencing these storms, and the Bahamas right there. And then here we have the disturbance in the middle, swirling in the middle of the Atlantic. I don't know if it actually is going to turn into a storm or not. And then here off the coast of Africa, we have some storms coming off the coast. It looks like it might be heading north and east instead of west, so who knows if it's actually going to develop into anything, but good to keep an eye on that. So that's what's happening in the Atlantic. That's the stuff that's happening with the satellites and the information. I'll leave links for the article so you guys can do your own research onto the stories about SpaceX and all those satellites. And that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news, and see you guys next time. And thank you, Morgan Weaver, for the recommendation about the asteroid sampling space mission. See you guys next time.